will hang out and show off their maker projects, their costumes, their hacker spaces, their tools, their CNCs, their 3D printers, all sorts of good makery deliciousness.
Do some people make something like, I don't know, a clock and then want to show it and share?
We have tons of clocks. This is like all clocks.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna show off their clocks. I didn't bring my ice tube, but
yeah,
it's on my desk.
So like it would be like a bunch of wires, and you plug them all together, and it would display time or something like that.
This is all wires.
Right.
It's all the wires.
So it'd be something like a clock.
Let's start off with Tony.
All right. So this week, let's start off with Tony DeCola at Adafruit Northwest. Tony, what do you got this week?
Hey, actually, I have a clock. It's amazing.
Oh, this is clock week.
We think alike, yeah. So it's just a simple little clock here. Showing the time, and it's using GPS. So this is the GPS breakout right here.
It's communicating with a satellite.
Exactly right. So it goes up and reads from the satellite the time, which is cool. Like it sets itself, so you don't ever have to worry about setting the time on the clock. I just built it into a little Adafruit box here. It's really easy to make these things. It does have some wires that are hanging out of here, and the time it's showing is actually the time in Texas. Because you might want to know what time it's in Texas.
I was just thinking about that today. I was like, I wonder what time it is in Texas. Like, what's going on in Texas right now?
Is Texas one time zone? I mean, it's big.
Texas is pretty big. I don't know how.
Is it only central? I think it's only central.
Yeah, it's central time from what I saw. At least Irving, Texas is specifically where I was setting the time.
Okay, that's cool.
But one thing, if you do go to Irving, Texas, you need to be careful. So it says it's a clock and not a bomb on here.
That's how you know.
Yeah, exactly right. Like people might get confused, and something bad could happen. So I'll write this up as a little guide in the learning system to show.
I think that's pretty unlikely, personally, Tony. I think you're completely out of line. I don't think anyone would get confused ever. So.
Right. It's just a box with some wires here, and it is. It's a very useful clock here that you can use, and it sets itself.
I can't wait till the police see it and they're like, Natab Om? What's that? Natab Ob? And then you get arrested and thrown in Guantanamo Bay or something.
These are all really unlikely scenarios. I don't think this would ever happen. We have a fantastic system where there's adults, and certainly not in like a public school and teachers that teach STEM. That would never happen because they're all really smart and everything.
Right. It's only in the horrible sci-fi world, the Blade Runner future, that kind of stuff can happen.
All right.
This is like a Mr. Robot plot line now. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Tony, for your delicious clock. It actually looks like a great clock.
It is a nice clock.
Yeah, it's nice and bright. It's a 1.2-inch LED backpack display, so this is great. Read it across the room.
All right.
All right, safety green.
All right. Thanks so much. All right, now Pedro from Adafruit Southeast. How are you guys? Did you guys make any clocks today?
Hello. We didn't make any clocks. You might need a clock, but you might need where the moon is. Sure. So this is a simple update to a project we did last year. This is the Celestron telescope. Since then, we have bigger phones. The phone's almost as big as the lens now, but better cameras, so that's nice. This is a 300 millimeter focal length telescope, and over the weekend we did get some shots of the moon. So this is the time lapse of the moon. It's not just an image and like animated. It's actually the moon moving. So it comes with two eyepieces. I think the bigger one there that you're seeing is 75 times magnification, which is pretty big. I like it. It's a really simple project, and it's going to be, I think, next week's project. Yeah. The thing we really like about this, instead of lugging out like a giant 200 mil lens that that's not even really enough to actually see. You need like a 600 mil having like.
That is that's incredible for such a low cost. By the way, I think the cops are. I think they're pissed about the clock jokes.
Oh no!
There, guys, like we had a good run.
I think they're going past us.
That's great. And then you're going to be showing this off tomorrow on the show.
No, this is the next week's.
Next week. Yeah, okay, what's on? And on tomorrow's show is.
Tomorrow's show is the wireless Qi charger stand. So just a little update to that guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I see that you have a Pluto shirt. Friday, Our Lady Ada's having breakfast.
Oh, that's right.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, which
I can't wear that shirt. I don't get kicked out.
I am not allowed to go and ask him about physics, but Lady Ada is, so she's having breakfast with him. Enjoy your talks about Pluto together.
I can't. It's impolite to talk about religion, politics, or Pluto.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. Next up, Richard. Unmute your mic and show us your project.
Hey, Richard.
I see an Adafruit.io thing, so I went to that real quick. Oh, we scared him away. Oh, no, there he is. Hey, Richard.
Oh, no, here I am. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to show off a project that we had a couple of guys come in here and work on some IoT stuff. Specifically, they want to attach stuff to a tennis court, so you can see if the tennis court's in use or not. So we've been playing around with Huzzah, and let me switch my camera here. And I have this going, so I know a lot of people have figured out how to get the Huzzah to update Adafruit IO with button pushes and stuff, and we actually got it to work with the sonar sensor. So if I put an object in front, you can see that it's changing the status from 1 to 0.
Nice.
And we figured that a good practice before we go to tennis courts would be just to make this that would attach to the door at the makerspace. So now we'll have it update live on the makerspace when the door is open or when the door is closed.
All right, cool. Was it easy? Did it work pretty smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, it's working all right, but one thing I do notice is that every once in a while it will kind of get booted offline and have some trouble connecting. So we literally just got this working last night. And yeah, I mean, all I have to do is reset it, but sometimes it'll work for a long time, sometimes it'll work for like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I have read that a lot of people are having problems with it.
Yeah, that's just like, I think the ESP8266 is a little bit like that, so you can just do a reset. What I do is after like 5 minutes, I just auto reset and then auto, like, so I always do a reconnect, so it's a clean connection. So like, it's $10. I mean, like, it's not going to be super stable.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I figured, and I figured, yeah, either doing like a power cycle every like 5 minutes, or do you think like doing a power cycle or just reinitializing the connection?
If you connect the reset pin to 16 or something, you can actually do a watchdog reset, which will do a full power cycle, so that will totally clear out any extra RAM things or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring.
Okay.
All right, next up, Daniel. Hello, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
You got a microphone. You got a rabbit.
Yep. Hi.
Yeah. Can you put your mic closer to your mouth because it's a little hard to hear you?
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm back. I got my microphone working.
Woo!
Yay. I showed some things off last week through the chat, but in case you didn't catch any of it, I got a Raspberry Pi. I have my bunny, and I have a 10 gigabyte hard drive from 2001, which is gigantic compared to the things that we have today. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on at school. I think I'm going to start going into Flora with wearables because up soon we're going to have an FICS teacher that's wanting us to do some sewing, so I'm going to surprise her and bring some stuff along for that. But yeah, also I can only do this one-handed, but I can't.
That's all right.
I've been working on Lego physics, so right here I have kind of like a Lego revolver type internals that's hammer controlled.
That's cool.
That's neat.
All right, you can.
But yeah, I'm just looking into more designs for that and hoping I can improve it and put a good shell on it. But yeah, there you have it.
Awesome. Thanks, Daniel. You sound great.
Yeah.
All right. Have a nice day.
All right, and you got your mic working, so as you do more projects, come back on the show.
Yeah, come back. See you next week. All right.
All right, next up, this
Lolly.
is Lolly. How's it going?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hey,
you sound great.
Okay, cool. So I'm working on this project trying to make a NeoPixel ring sound reactive pendant. So I basically 3D printed this little enclosure that you can put it on your neck. That's the idea. So I got a NeoPixel ring that goes around the front like that. And then I'm actually still working on incorporating the mic, one of these little LiPo chargers, the Adafruit Gemma, and one of these little LiPo batteries. So I'm still trying to get the enclosure stuff done. It's still a work in progress. I'm having some issues with the support material. So I'm experimenting with 3D printing. It's not doing too well right now. apparently the support structure doesn't stick to the build plate when I'm actually printing, so I'll be looking at more of Noah Pedro's videos to kind of figure out what's going on there. I don't know if it's a Cura thing or what, I don't know. But anyway, the actual filament is blobbing at the tip for the support material. So I read that you can increase the temperature or mess around with the support material setting. So I got to figure that out. So the one I'm trying to print now is this one right here. Oops, sorry about the hashtag at the top there. But it's this one right here. So I'm going from a cylindrical shape to a hexagonal shape.
Hexagons are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's for space because I really don't have enough space in here to fit everything. So I'm trying to figure that out.
You only have the wires can run along the corners too. So that'll be nice.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like I want to first print out a prototype of this and see what I can do to modify it. But that's pretty much the idea. So this will go around your neck, be sound reactive. I actually carried this to Sri Lanka, where I'm from originally, and I was a little scared carrying this in my hand luggage because I had a battery and a bunch of wires in my carry-on, but it wasn't an issue.
I don't think anyone would ever overreact with electronics.
I don't think so. So it was all good. Like it was in my bag tucked away.
You have to put like a fake Apple logo on it and be like, no, it's the new Apple. It's subject dependent. Like, oh, it's fine then.
Yeah, my cousin plays drums, so I wanted to carry it for him because I wanted to kind of develop a project for him, and he does some cool drum stuff. So
yeah, check out. We have a sound reactive drum project where you actually put the mic on the drum.
Exactly. I actually derived this from that. So
cool.
That's really good. Right. Yeah. So thanks. And by the way, keep doing the Periscope stuff. I watched both the videos, and that was pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like way out there. We think we're way ahead of what engineering and what it all means. Like it's a reality show kind of behind the scenes where you actually see what Limor does. So we're going to keep pushing it.
Yeah, I learned a lot about debugging, and it's good to see that I'm not the only one who gets frustrated with Windows RM Manager when you try it.
Yeah.
We totally saw that it was the spaces and parentheses in the path. That was like...
Yeah, I figured that.
And Dropbox always makes spaces and parentheses in paths, so
yeah.
Right. It's cool to see that, so thanks, Limor. Thanks for sharing.
All right. We'll keep broadcasting if you keep watching. So.
I will be. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the chance. Yep.
Desk of frustrated lady.
All right. All right,
thank you.
Aiden, how's it going?
Hey, Aiden, welcome back.
Hey, so this was kind of a concept idea that I'm going to be implementing in more soft robots in the future. And I originally thought of this a long time ago, but only recently got around to experimenting it and trying it out. So I make most of my soft robots out of this castable silicone material. It's really great stuff. It's flexible. It's stretchy. It's super soft. It's a great material. And what I tried and succeeded in was embedding electronics in it. So what I did is I casted a layer of silicone, put the electronics on it, casted more silicone over that, so it's a fully solid cast, in this case around some NeoPixels. And as you would probably expect, it diffuses it very nicely. So here, let me just turn it on, and
ooh, that looks cool.
And it's completely embedded in the.
Is there a ridge, or is it like you cast it and it's still a little wet and you keep casting it?
Yeah. So I cast one layer completely, let it cure.
Okay.
Put the electronics on, and then cast the other half of the mold.
And it sticks together, like you can't peel it. It doesn't peel apart.
Yeah.
Cool.
One interesting thing I did find is that certain materials will prevent the silicone from curing, and one of those materials is flux. So from the solder pads, like a few millimeters around the solder pads, it won't cure. So you need to have a pretty thick layers around the electronics, but usually that's fine.
That looks great. That's just like a glowing sphere.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of alien thing.
I love it.
Cool. And it's still like flexible. I can bend it because it's on the inside, it's just wires, and those tiny NeoPixel PCBs are small.
Okay, you might be able to clean off the flux with some IPA, some isopropyl alcohol. You can try that. I don't know, like, see if that works.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Cool.
All right, sweet. Thanks for the demo. That looks great. I can't wait for like the glowing arm grabber with.
Yeah, I'm going to try and embed these into actual moving actuators. So like for example, these bending ones that I have here.
It might be good for feedback, like if there's a sensor feedback and it's like, oh, I'm pressing too hard, it like turns red and warns you, like, hey, this actuator's at the end.
Yeah, because like on other projects, I've put in flex sensors or velostat inside the silicone in order to create like soft sensors inside the actuators. So yeah, that was just kind of cool experiment here that I'm going to be implementing in more soft robots in the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Aiden. This is high tech.
Okay.
All right.
Next up, Marcel.
Hey, Marcel.
Are you still there, Marcel?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Hey,
All right, Marcel. Choose what you got.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sound great.
Okay. So I haven't got really much to show, but I wanted to share my enthusiasm about this Adafruit Class D Max 9744 breakout board, which I received the other day. And so here it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I just connected it, and it really sounds great. Also connected it to our Arduino board, and then LCD screen where it can show the volume. And I use the data sheet to convert the I2 C volume numbers to the attenuation, which I thought is kind of handy to see on the display. Yeah, so I'm thinking about adding a preamp to it with some tone controls, and I think it's really usable, very usable, and extremely small, and that's don't need a big power supply for it. It's very cool.
Yeah, no big heat sink. That's what I like about Class D.
No, it's amazing. It's absolutely. I can't believe it gives that much sound out of that small little chip there, but it works fine. It sounds really great.
Yeah, Maxim did a great job with that chip. That's a great chip. I remember seeing that and I was like, oh my god, it's like 2 times 20 watts and it runs on 12-volt power and it's like I2C. Like, this is a great chip. So that's why I'm really happy.
Very good. Yeah,
it.
Absolutely
Awesome.
fine. Okay.
Yay! Thanks, Marcel. Okay, come back when you finish your stereo project and we'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to work on it.
Awesome. All right, see Scott.
We'll always take video mailbags. It's always fine. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Marcel.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See Scott, play us out.
Hey guys, a couple things here. One might be a mention of clocks, but first, I'm working on. I'm trying to get a module line underway where each modules cost about $50 to build, but it's not a cheap circuit. It's a quality circuit. The first thing I'm going to do is what you see here on the screen. This is a 4-inch by 1.8-inch board designed to fit behind what we call a 10 HP Eurorack panel. But my challenge is cram all the parts on the board. I'm almost done, but I'll give you an update on that when I have it ready.
Looks great. I like how it's almost completely single-sided too. It looks like you're really into that. Like, make it almost possible to etch.
Well, yeah. I mean, my background comes from when you had to make everything by hand, including the circuit board. So it's kind of a habit that's carried over. Now, I say that, but when you look at that board, the pots and jacks actually mount on the back side, and the rest of the components mount on the front side, so that I can directly mount that to a panel without having any parts clearances to deal with other than the known mechanical components.
Okay.
Anyway, of course, yesterday we had this little bit of lunacy regarding a kid bringing a clock to school. When I was 13 years old, I brought a clock to school, and it was something I made, similar to the way my son made his little his spinning wheel thing last year. And I did not get arrested. My teachers thought it was cool. I don't think it's about this specific unfortunate young man so much as the concept that's underlying this, and I normally don't talk in a political sense in an engineering forum, but this one affects us all. This is striking at the core of nurturing the maker at that age.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like if the teachers are unwilling to nurture, it's time to give to a different school. But anyway,
yeah, you know, I completely agree. I was thinking about this today. Like, this kid has not been alive for a very long time. This is like 10% of his life. Like, this is like his experience. And what's interesting is this could normally be a very bad situation. And I'm usually down on Twitter and social media, but a lot of people came together. The president today said, want to come by the White House and show off your clock. So instead of it just being like you're arrested, you're a criminal, the kid talked at a press conference. He wants to go to MIT.
I was more scared because he actually had like a suicide cable. It's not that it looked like a bomb. There was actually like there's like a mains power was exposed and that kind of.
You actually had some engineering critique.
That's what scared me. Not the looking like a bomb. I was like, oh my god, it's like in a metal box. It's not grounded.
Yes,
UNC Scott should redesign his clock for him.
No, he has to redesign it himself. That's the only way to learn.
That's the punishment is it's fine.
But you know,
you're absolutely right.
One of the older folks that come on here, I'm nearly 51, but I can tell you this, and most of my peers are the same way. We do not care what color you are, what gender you are, what gender preference you have, what religious affectation you have, if any. We don't care how old you are, how young you are. Yeah. The only thing we care about is what technical prowess can you bring to a forum we participate in. That's it.
And don't use 10 mil traces to put one.
And by all means, don't use 10 mil traces.
Went through this.
And there's that. Well, one of the things that I like, you know, if you're going to get arrested at school, you know, that one photo, he did it with the NASA meatball shirt, classic. If you're going to get arrested, so. All right. Yeah, oh, look at this. Oh, you got your shirt. NobCon 4. And the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And of course, when Raiders of the Lost Ark, that's ARP stands for Alan R. Perlman, who used to work for Philco. And Philco is famous for things besides radios. They made what I consider the first op amps, because what you would get is a little housing that has two tubes that plug in the top, and then it had an octal base that you would then plug into your chassis. And it was an op amp. I mean, its slew rate was horrible, but it was still, it could do instrumentation and things with it. Anyway, when I get perturbed at ridiculous things like what happened yesterday, I tend to sit down and I play, soothing music to calm my soul. So,
all right, so calm our soul.
All right,
get out of here.
Play us out, and thank you, clockmakers, for stopping by tonight. Thank you,
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Noah.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you, Elliot.
Thank you, Scott.
And Aiden.
All right, we're here every single week, 7:30 p.m. until the authorities take us away. We will see you on Ask an Engineer at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is coming up right now. And we do this every single week. We've been doing this for 4 years. This is show and tell, where people around the world, without fear, show their electronics projects online.
You know, it's funny. When I was a kid, we could actually make black powder bombs, and we didn't get arrested.
No, I mean, I did chemistry class, and you had rockets, and everything was
my chemistry teacher just like set the class on fire, like it was the best day of our lives.
Things will get better. Once in a while, they got to get bad before they get better. All right.
Okay,
we'll see everybody next week, and we'll see everybody in about 5 minutes. Bye-bye.